Okay, we continue the tools, Affinity Designer with these tools. Node tool and point transfer tool. Node tool. First, if you draw some shapes, for example, a rectangle or any shape that you want from here, then click and drag with color and the stroke. I will be explaining them more later. As you can see, as I said before, they are parametric and you can change the parameter of them, but you cannot change the points of them to deform them and create your desired shape. And if you go to the node tool, you cannot do anything either, because for using these tools, you have to convert these shapes, these parametric shapes. I tell them parametric because you can parametrically change the points to deform the shape. For example, this heart, you can change the parameter of that. You have to convert to the curve, and then you have you can freely change the shape of this shape freely, very easy with this node tool. If you go to the select view, you can move it whole object. But if you select the node tool, the shortcut, you can see the shortcut is A. Select the object, and then you can access all the points and the curves. These are curves and these are points. And if you're going most over any curves here, you can see this line, and you can click and add any point that you want. You can directly control the fill, change the color of that, or stroke. You can activate or deactivate the stroke if you want. That I will be explain more these stroke settings here and these and these. Don't worry. But you can directly, of course, control from here or from here. Anywhere in the software, it's very easy. Or, for example, you can change the fill color from here. If you have to select the object, don't forget. And then click on this stroke. It's going forward, and then you can change the stroke if you want. Or you can delete the strokes if you want. In this case, I deleted to better define the edges. Let's talk about all these settings. As I said before, if you select an object, any object, this toolbar, its settings appear here in this bar. Here you can change the shape to these are sharp corners. You can change them to the smooth corner with the tangent handle if you want, or smart. You can better see the difference between smooth and smart curves when I explain pen tool. You can see this better there. But both of them are smoothing the curves at these points that you selected. Or you can convert to the sharp or smooth again. Okay, I let this point to the smooth, to be smooth. And let's talk about these actions, transform, snaps. Let's turn them all off. From here, so it's very easy. You can see difference between them when I explain the pen or all of these tools that create a curve. These are parametric shape that they are creating here, and just you can drag. But with the pen tools or pencil tools, you can create your own curves. Okay, split curves after selected. You have to select a curve to be active. They're splitting. In this case, you cannot see this bit here, but it's splitting. It's in this case when we have a closed shape, it creates a point in between the after point. The after point of this point that we selected before. It creates a point in between them. Again, if you select this, it selects after this. Boom. In between these points. This point and another point in between. This point is break a curve. It does not mean here because if you break it, it just break this point to the 2 point. You can see it. But you can better see when you create a curve. For example, make sure that you deselect everything, because if you select this, for example, you are in a point and create a curve, it creates another curve based on your curve that you selected. So let's create another curve to better understanding. It's very easy. You have to select the pen tool. Before that, I want to activate stroke color to better see that. Yeah, this stroke color is better because I selected this shape. It's currently changed that. Make sure you deselect everything. And as you can see, it's breaking point from here. Create some curves here. With click and drag, you can create a smooth point. Click and drag, just click. You can create a sharp point. I will explain them more. That's easy. Make sure you deselect everything and pen tool again and create another shape, for example, here, just for example. But if you select that and go into another shape, it will continue that. If you want to create new curve, you have to go to the move tool, deselect everything, and create your curve again. Okay, let's continue that. Going to the node tool. For example, select any tool, and here you can break, you can close curve. It's very simple. For example, select this and close curve. It's automatically close curve based on the end of the curve here. Here, show orientation. It's showing with this red handle the orient of the object. It means this is the end of the curve. And when you use the close curve, it's create end curve here. Just it's for visualize the orient of the curve, as you can see, and where is the end of this curve. It's better to activate it and see the ending of the curve, your curves. So, or smooth curves. For example, here, and as you can see, we have sharp corners. You can select all of these, for example, points, and simply smooth curves. In this case, it does not smooth the edges, because for doing that, you have to use this. But in this case, it's adding some points in between the selected points. For example, you select these points. In this case, smoothing. Select points in all objects. For example, in here, select this smoothing point, and as you can see, it adds more point to curve point here. Nice. It's smoothing more. You can see better, for example, here we have a few points here, but you can add more point at the curves for more smoothing object. In this object, if you want to, it's better named add points. It's adding point to create more smoother curves if you want. And here, if you open the curves, you can join them, points, you can join them here. Simply click and drag and select the point that you want to join, and then simply join them and then create a line in between them. Let's join these. Join them. It's close. It's like a closing curves. And reverse curve. It's very important. As you can see, this is the end of the curve, and here you can reversing. This is it's reversing the starting and the ending the curves. It's very important when you come to stroke and, for example, use the start and end uh, shapes, because it tells you, okay, this is a start, this is an end, this is an start, this is an end. The red line tells this is an end, but you can simply reverse the start and the end of curve. This is a very important transfer tools. When you, for example, when from here you select lots of points and you want to move them together and you want to have a box, you can simply activate the transfer mode. And here you can see the box and you can move it. You can rotate it, both of them. You can simply change the scale of the points. It's very interesting. Here you can change the pivot point. You can activate it, for example, rotate from this part. If you rotate it, it rotates all of the selected point based on the pivot point that you selected here. When you're dragging your selected point, you can see this box. But if you want to hide the selection, hold dragging here. As you can see, you cannot see it when you're dragging. This is an alignment point. If you select it, you can align all of these points based on this part or based on this. Just see these handles and click and drag. It's aligned them based on. For example, I want to align these two points based on this part. Boom. Simple. You can activate this alignment. Another tool is selection box from curve. For example, I select all of these points and this is a box. And as you can see, the box is inside these curves. If you select that, as you can see, it's cover all whole shape if you want. Nice. If you want it, you can. I like this. As you can see, if you disable it, this curve is outside of the box, but when you select it, it's cover all curves. Another things are snapping. When you select a point, as you can see, we have some guides and snap. First, align node. For example, if you select it, it's automatically, yeah, as you can see, we don't have any alignment point. Activate it. And now we have a red line that you can align the point based on other point. But if you want to, as you can see, we have a different curve. But if you want to align or move object based other points of other curves, make sure that you select all of these curves. And then go to this point. And as you can see, you can align it based on other points of other curves. You have to select all of them at once. And here, this is a snap to geometry. And as you can see, you can snap to body of the curve. Interesting. Snap all selected node when dragging. It's very easy. If you select, for example, these two nodes, it does not snap to points. But if you select it, as you can see, it's snap to, I select this point and this point together, it's automatically a snap to other point if you want. Align handle position using snapping option. It's very interesting. This isn't handles. This is on points. When you click and drag, you can change the point. But we have also handles, and we want to align, use, snapped with this handle, you can activate this. If you activate this, you can use all of this snap system also for handles. Nice. You can snap the handles to the body, snap handles to the other point. It's actually turn on. It turn these handles to the point. Actually, you can see all of the handles snap system for the handles, the tangent handle also. And here, perform construction snapping. It's activating all of the guides, perpendicular, 90-degree, or it's very simple. With holding shift, you can step moving with 45 that you can change in the settings. But in this guides, let's see, we can activate it. You can see, for example, you can see it. It's recognize the perpendicular line direction, this handle with that point here. It's activates all of this perform for you. That's it. This is an all node tools that you can create lots of interesting things. But another interesting tool is the point transfer tool. For example, if you want to scale whole object based on one point, you can use it. For example, point transfer tool. If you select it, we have fill, stroke, and for hiding selection while dragging, you know it. This is for text, I explain it now. And this is snapping align, you know it. But if you when you active this point, this pivot point is very important. If you, for example, bring this pivot point here and then going to, you don't need to select any point. Just go to the point that you want and click and drag. And as you can see, it's scaling the objects based on the selected point that you hear. The selected, scaling the whole object based that. Just this. You can select it, for example, from here, and then you can scale it object based on that. That's very simple. And as you can see, it's changing in a transfer box. It's changing to the delta X and delta Y. For example, 10 pixel based on, because it's changing the position X and Y in a coordination system based on one point. So we're using delta X and delta Y. It is not actual position. It's a position based on other points in a mathematical. It tells it delta. For example, we have a shape, text shape, TC, and you can use the transfer point for that. And here you can activate text baseline. It tells you, okay, this is a baseline, and you can change the whole object based on this line. You can rotate it, you can scale it, any object based on this object. But as you can see, this is not a curve object. This is a text object. For doing that, convert it. You have to convert it to the curve, and it's the curve. It's not text object anymore. Okay. But you can activate baseline or not. You cannot change them. You can just click and drag any of them and scale and rotate object freely based on any pivot point that you want. The transfer point tool is this. Okay. Hello, my friends. To continue these tutorials on YouTube, subscribe us, like us, and hit the bell icon. And now you will be alerted about all of the amazing videos that we release.